Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing this afternoon, 14th of November? Good afternoon, George. Good afternoon, Patrick. Hey, Gary. What's up, Magic Mike? What's up, P-Dub? The original P-Dub, not a imposter P-Dub. Hey, Sashi, another day, another turn. You're back to your job. The market drops 1%. This is so dumb. What? This is a minor pull. Gee, people react to too much to every little move. Good evening, Anissa. We're volatile. This is nothing. Hello, Connor. Hey ho, happy Jack Travels. Good afternoon, JJ. What's up, Coco? By the way, in case you missed it, I did roll out a couple ways to support the channel. Gonna be dropping some extra bonus videos for people who subscribe at the upper tier. Did one trade idea, one today. There'll be other things like key levels I'm watching going into an earnings for subscribers only. Maybe I'll throw up some dividend plays, little things for you to consider. Nothing that has to be done, but little things as a bonus. If you can get one idea out of it a month, it's way worth the subscription. By the way, if you just want to join for free, do subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and ring that bell. I'm turning off ads also, so people can watch it ad-free, and we're just going to go to people who want to support the channel. Again, very low cost for the amount of information you get here. So, let's take a look there. We had Brainerd speaking today. I thought her comments were very dovish in relation to Powell's. So market like that and then rolled over in the afternoon a bit. Remember, cycles are at the top on daily and weekly. You're going to get a pullback. We don't know if it's going to be more of a sideways ones or a pullback, but there's a lot of key support levels I went through this morning. Tomorrow, PPI 7:30 Central, 1 hour before the open. So please keep that in mind. Then we got more Fed speak tomorrow. But PPI is not as important as CPI, but if it's a big beat or miss, could have some effects on the market, especially if the market doesn't like it. It could just keep the pullback, which is barely a blip on the screen, going. And I'm expecting a pullback. Do not know the size just yet. But that's within the context of the triggered bottoming patterns. You can see here, healthcare. Some nice things in healthcare going on today. Check out the weekly sector overview. I did talk a little bit about healthcare. Mega caps pulling back. Home Depot, remember, earnings tomorrow morning. And Walmart, earnings tomorrow morning. But pretty much, I don't think that's a reflection of their earnings. It was pretty decent profit taking today, besides rolling back into some healthcare plays. Stocks, finally, real estate pulling back. Was waiting for this one. Pretty negative across the board. Healthcare virtually flat, though. And just some more profit taking from last week. Fed watch after Brainerd is 15% only for that 75. So we're getting to a point where that 50 is getting potentially baked in. Fear and greed still solidly in greed mode. There was not much I was looking at after the close. So, yeah. I mean, who else? No, I didn't see a Buzz. Oh, I guess BuzzFeed went out. No, who cares? How do we upgrade, become members through Discord? No, you just go to the YouTube channel and there is a membership option. There's 2 tiers. One just gets you some special badges, and so going to start highlighting comments. I'm going to be paying more attention to whether you go with the basic or advanced. You get priority for comments. Again, sometimes I just can't keep up with comments, so I have to give priority to the people who want to support the channel. You know, and I'm just going to give some other information to help people out who want, so that way I can turn off ads. If you want to join and just monitor stuff, I give away a ton of stuff for free. Ton of stuff, of my time especially. This is there to help people, and if you want to be a part of something, you can help out. Not major. Uh, yeah, remember Walmart and Home Depot tomorrow morning. Advanced Auto Parts also tomorrow afternoon. I would not ignore that. I'll probably be putting out a video on that one for members too at some point. So here we go. Here we go. Let's see. Mike sounding like a broker now. One new idea every month. Well, what I said, if you get one new idea, not that I just put out one new idea. Hey, I don't have anything that I don't need to sell you on anything. And boy, don't I used to have a Series 7, but I was never a broker. That's for when I was prop trading. You had to have a Series 7. Ugh. Way back when. That was a pain in the butt. You want to talk about pain in the butt to study for? Series 7? Used to have my Series 3. Boy. The volatile market is like surfing. Either learn to surf or you'll get pulled underwater. That's good thoughts, Connor. Well, we take home cold, hard cash. My best Matthew McConaughey voice. Oh, no. I've been talking about this for a while. This subscription model with Elon, though, you know, with the non-verification and all the imposters using it, it hurt his ad revenue. I'm trying to get people to support the channel. You know, I easily put over 20 hours a week into this. And boy, it's, you know, a lot of people just don't want to help. Yeah, click the join link. There we go. Too many upgrades on NVIDIA makes me worried about earnings. I'd be watching for the potential pullback. Hey guys, what does Gravestone Doji Candle close below body of... What does Gravestone Doji Candle close below body of previous daily candle? Well, remember, candles are in context of where it's a big secret most people mess up is candles have meaning in certain locations and in certain context. And in that's a pullback. Do you think when the Fed speaker says nothing broke yet, meaning they broke something? No, I actually think they think nothing's broken yet. Not to the extent that broken really applies. When something breaks, it's not going to be, did something break? It's going to be, oh crap, something broke. Hello, options 22, 2. Series 7, 6, 63. Where's the Series 3? Where are the futures people out there? Smash that like button on the SPY. See, you have to be, this would be on a follow through. This is a breakdown short-term top, not a long-term top. This is a short-term topping candle. Watch for it. You want a little hint. You put cycles when they're at the top. Cycles at the top. And you get a candle like this. Pretty decent for a short-term corrective move. Where am I? Lost track. By the way, wide bottom double top. Wide bottom, my top's got them. There we go. There's your singing for today, coming right back down to that 39.62 level. You should still see, even on this evening, probabilities favor a slightly bigger pullback. And look where that would take it, just reconnection with the 4-hour rotation zone. So this is the first thing, getting out with some divergences, little push higher, reversal right at that 62.5, 40.18. So technically 40.1750 right in front of that 62.5 and pulling back. So this is confirming that we have the potential for a slightly bigger pullback. Overall, I'm watching for a reconnection with the daily rotation zone. That's not a super big bearish move. So that's what I am watching for in context. You have the 1 hour, the wide bottom, not triggered on the NAS. 11.702 is the confirming and trigger point. 11.614, 11.571, 11.527. Where would that take it in the bigger context? The first and second targets are within the rotation zone. So you have that with the daily cycles at the top. And no, does that change anything? I just want to touch on one other thing. Does that change anything with this double being triggered? No, it does not. And that doesn't even take it. That takes it back to the 50 on the NASDAQ, potentially. Not even back to the rotation zone. So this is just an orderly pullback so far. The Dow, here you go again. Not confirmed or triggered yet, 33,409. With the potential all the way back to 32,836. Actually, I'm going to shifting this because this looks like this. It's virtually the same. It's pretty much spot on double top. Where would that take it in the scheme of things? Into the daily rotation zone. Let's check the 4 hour. 4 hour would be out of the way. So that would just take it into the daily rotation zone right by the prior major breakout level. Hey, John. November 18th, 400 calls, low volume and super high open interest was a big buy signal for me that we'd hit 400 today. Remember, it's going to be a magnet through OpX. Yeah, PPI data it could just be a trigger point. We're already rolling over right now, so that could just be a further trigger point. Even if the PPI comes in hotter, it's not going to change. It's not going to be a big influencer, oversized influencer. It could just continue the pullback move. Russell, little pullback move, actually closing below Friday's. Technically not closed yet, but looks like it's going to close below Friday's lows. So that would, but there was no little, that's not a double. It's an okay still on the 4 hour, but the 1 hour, other ones were on the 1 hour. I just watched because it's so close to daily rotation zone with the reconnection of the daily rotation zone. The DAX also cycles at the top, very overbought. Be watching on a break below today's low for the corrective pattern. And that would also take it below into the 4 hour rotation zone. So my first key area I'd be watching with the pullback into this clear path move once you get below about 14,210, 14,050 would be the first target area I would be utilizing. The notes, little so far. Little trigger, pause, pullback. So far, this is a sideways correction, retesting the candle bodies from the breakout double bottom trigger. So this is the first area to get proper good reward to risk. I'm just going to keep utilizing these for ratchet up stop levels. 113, 113.13 to 113.17 area. Just because this is going against such a strong trend, it behooves, from my perspective, to go with a little tighter ratcheting up the stop from a discretionary point of view. Dollar index, nothing much. Inside day to Friday, pause bar. You know what that means. I focus on today's high and low, breakout, breakdown play, favors the breakdown play on the break below to the low. VIXY, not much. Not much has changed. Coming right up to that 24.34 stopping area, 24.35 stopping area. The only thing I'll start watching now, since that's confirmed it, we break above that, that would be into the daily rotation zone. That would have me gauging the strength of the pullback move once I see it break above there. Crude, little double, talked about this morning, triggered. This did not invalidate it, and all the targets hit, whether using conservative or aggressive. That's over. Still in consolidation. Still in consolidation. Remember, last time we closed below 62.5, I'm still expecting the retest of this low area. So could that kind of thing be rolled into potentially a bigger play because of where it is with the 62.5? Yes. That is a kind of thing you can do for rolling into a bigger short-term play. That's not for the bigger play. There's a fair amount of support down here. And look, if you ignore this little breakdown area, look how long it's been in a consolidation play. Besides, you had a little breakout up here, little breakdown down there, but if you really look between about 94 and 82, it's been in that range for the most part since the beginning of August. So think about that. That's a pretty big range to be in. There's some major support and resistance in there. Gold just continues its march higher still. It's trail and stop mode with gold. Euro, as I talked about, still expecting just pausing right in front of that first target. Should still be targeting that. The next key area is at 200. Right now, just letting the rotation zone catch up. Bitcoin, as I said this morning, does have a potential double. Would not be looking to get long. From my perspective, would be looking at this for potential short things. There's just too much growing on in the crypto space. This is now a news cycle story with everything. There's interesting stuff. I don't have time to get in on here, but nothing that I want to tackle. Pausing in Tesla. So not much going on there. Inside bar today. So it's the breakout. I would really be watching about 196.75 for the continued breakout play. Cycle's not yet on the top on the daily, and pretty much in the middle on the weekly. So there's definitely room for a correction bounce play in Tesla. And remember, Elon's compensation court case is going on this week in the Delaware Chancery Court. So that is ongoing. I already covered the 1 hour double top on the ES and the NASDAQ. I just liked them on the 1 hour. NASDAQ, the S&P triggered, the NASDAQ has not yet. Let's see what else we got here. I don't think PPI is as big of a move as CPI or unemployment. No, Rod, it's not. It will not be as big unless something really weird happens. It's not going to be as big thing. It is something to pay attention to, especially since we're starting to roll over with cycles. Maybe I'll put up, maybe that's something, another bonus, a little bonus for subscribers. I'll put up the exact configuration for the cycle indicator. Little things like that reward people for inexpensive support of the channel. You know, I really hate doing stuff like that. But you know what? I need to value my time a little better. P does 1250 to 12500 before we roll over a longer term for the NASCRAP. Yeah, we could easily get in that range. Although 12250 to 12500, I'd be targeting this 12677 if we did get that close above the 62.5, which we should see at some point. Not guaranteed though. It's always, wouldn't it be nice to have something at 100% probabilities? Never going to happen, but it'd be nice. Put it all in the one play. If there's actually something that tested out with a decent sample size, I still wouldn't put all in one play because everything could happen. But it'd be nice. I mean, it could be an overweighted position. Let me go back to Bitcoin. I mean, the thing is 18,155 area for the bounce play. I'm still watching. The harmonics are still the same for the next breakdown is 14.3, 13,750, then 13,000. Then majors back down at 12,000. Those are just minor levels. What else do we have here? We had FedEx from Sterling. Thoughts on FedEx didn't quite make it to 62.5 retracement of the recent gap down. Think we bounced back off the 50 or think this is the rollover? I mean, if we just look at it, let me take a look at stuff here. You got cycles at the top. This was the push-up move. Did not give the confirming. Let's measure it out since I did not have them on here. This is the rollover zone between the 50 and the 62.5, and it's rolling over. More of the confirmation would be with the break below today's low. Does that mean the gap fills completely off the table? I haven't seen, there's been more and more bearish news coming out on FedEx. I mean, bare minimum, I'd be playing for a rollback downside to about 165.50 area, at least in the short term. And it's entered the rotation zone. So unless this does get that close above the 62.5 from the gap perspective, I'm watching more so for a rollover play. Weekly cycles at the top, daily cycles at the top, going back to at least key support. And if we start breaking into that key support levels, then we could be retesting the lows with by the end of the year. Jim Cramer's not even 100%. No. No, he gets some things occasionally right. He gets some things. And it's all time frame too. I mean, some of the stuff with inverse Kramer and everything else, it's like, oh, you finally get a stock that's dumping and he said he liked it 2 years ago. You got to put stuff in context. All right, yeah, I mean, I like to beat up on Jim Cramer as much as anybody else. But, if he treated the stocks a buy 2 years ago and now it's breaking down or it broke down, that's a different story versus if he says tonight that Home Depot and Walmart are a guaranteed buy, yeah, would not be going long into earnings. If he said you got to sell them before earnings, probably worth going long into earnings. Walmart, there's no great pattern on this. By the way, going into earnings. This one does not have a fantastic pattern. The only thing I'm keeping an eye on is if it beats is the remaining gap fill. The remaining gap fill. But daily cycles, it rolling over, not yet the bottom. Weekly rolling over. If I had to bet, I'd be watching for a move back towards that 200. This is just this got sloppy with this push up into the, I was almost watching for a double, but now you see this is not a double. The only interesting thing is you have the advanced clear path, back to the 200 virtually on the but the daily, this is where it's a mess. You got the 250 right in the way. You got the prior breakout level right in the way. This is more of a gamble play. Now, I like this for once it does break down below 128 again, I like it. But there's sometimes there's just not a play from probability standpoint. Home Depot is interesting though. You had the little double within the double, okay? Double within the double. First double nearly completed there. The only other play is since this is virtually done going into earnings, the only thing is if it triggers and then holds the 332.98, you could see another run up. But to the downside, not interested. We're shifted back to pretty much neutral based off that daily completion. I'm keeping an eye on this 274 area. Because we start breaking down below that, short-term play for me would be to 62.5, and then a close below that would be more unraveling. The only bullish play is I'd need that to actually trigger with 333. Not all of them. Kramer's not 100%. Well, I'm not defending Kramer. He's got a horrible track record. He's not 100%. He's not 100%. He's more like 90%. Saw a video of Kramer talking about how hedge funds can manipulate futures by putting with 5 or 10 million. Yeah, they can short term. There can be short term pressure, just like there can be short term stop hunting if it's big enough size. But to do long term or even medium term pressure won't happen. It's too big. It gets absorbed too fast. Netflix has formed a nice potential daily double top. Yes, it has. And what has it done it against? Look at that, right against that 50. So, it's also a weekly double top. Now, the only problem with this is you have this extended flat area. When you get an extended flat area, at least the second target's right there. So in this kind of situation, what do you think my primary focus would be for the major targets? It'd be first and second target because of the extended flat area. And it has not come close to triggering yet. So, if you're long, did you just bail on it? No, I'd be more aggressively trailing a stop since it came back down, retested the highs. You're getting a divergent setup on the daily potential. See lower high RSI, higher high price action, topping area against a harmonic right there. So it starts breaking down again. That's a key area to look for a topping pattern. All right, mRNA real quick, and then I'm going to, there's no major topping pattern just yet. Nothing yet. It'd be trailing mode for me. You filled the gap finally from back in August. You finally filled the gap. That's not to say mRNA can't pull back, but there's no great topping pattern other than being very overbought. So, all right. There we go. I thank you to all the people who have joined the channel. Thanks everybody just for being here regardless. If you're new, please do consider subscribing. We'll go over some more things tomorrow, and I will be back with the PPI numbers in the morning, and we'll set up our daily trading game plan. Everyone have a wonderful night. Bye for now.